This is not a drill. This is not a drill. I have returned, and before I make the grand reveal of what's going on, just want to let you guys know that I'm back. I have a whole series of videos that I've scheduled, written out, planned out, recorded some already. Every week for a couple of months, maybe like 3-4 months, we're gonna have something pop up because I mean, you could take the lights from a light designer, but you can't take the light designer out of the lights, right? No? Okay. Well, intro is done. Let's have some fun. So, it's a lot of new faces on the team, and we're gonna talk about it. So, in case you are new here and you don't know any about my past videos, I am Dante. I'm a lighting designer. On YouTube, I'm known as a lighting designer. Now, on other platforms, I might be a podcaster, I might be a blogger, might be a sports writer, an editor. So depending on where you find me on the internet, I could be several different things. With that said, I just want to give like a recap of some of the things that have happened. Then I want to introduce you to my new lighting system, and what it's all about. So, I intermittently during the recording here, I'm gonna just change the colors of the fixtures while I talk to give some visual stimulation, perhaps. Or maybe I'll run well, I don't know if I'll run a chase, but so anyway, I it's been an interesting past couple of years. You know, last you guys heard I was dealing with a lighting ministry at my old church. Um, but you hear the term old church, and so very long story short, I was told, you know, me serving in the church was no longer needed. I was turned away, if you will. And we're not going to get into all of the details about why that is. I was the one that reached out and said, hey, and I can't use my other hand, but imagine my hand just being kind of smacked away. So, you know, that the church, I started the ministry there, developed the lighting system, and had it. I made it myself, did all the research, did everything, and um, well, I had a lighting system in mind, but uh, the church leadership, they had other plans for it, and so I ended up with a discombobulated mess, and so the visions never became reality in terms of what I wanted to do. But before I showed up, the church had no kind of lighting, anything. There was no team. There was no plans. There was no real anything. It was just kind of like maybe one day we'll do something, but whatever. So I pioneered the thing, and the way that it kind of ended, the way that I was kind of like cast aside was, an unfortunate situation. But I guess ultimately that's how things go, So you end up kind of just, I guess that's ultraviolet, by the way. Yeah, they're hex fixtures, guys. But I spent a lot of time, you know, planning my next move. Like, what did I want to do? Now that I was no longer, you know, in that organization, what did I want to do, moving forward? What was the next step? What was the next plan here? And I landed on an idea very quickly. It was owning my own lighting business, but I wanted it to be like retail. I wanted to sell lighting fixtures. Like places like Sam Ash or Guitar Center, they really, really emphasize and specialize in audio. And like they have lighting as like a little thing on the side. So a lot of companies don't sell just lighting stuff like this exclusively or emphasize it. Um, and that was something that I wanted to try to change. But so 2018, I was working on establishing myself. Get my own place and do some things. And then 2019, I started making some headway with it. Not a lot. But towards the end of 2019, I kind of had some things kind of like, okay, I think I got it. I think we've got it figured out. 2020 happened, and it set me back a little bit. I still registered the business in 2020, but in terms of like making different purchases and building this wasn't a thing that I could do at the time for, I guess, obvious reasons. And, you kind of had to suck it up and move on. You guys in the middle for magenta? Let's do magenta. Ooh, baby. That's what daddy likes. Let's turn off the other lights in the, for now. Hopefully they pop a little more. Yeah, we got a glow. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. You like that? We like this. But, so 2020, I registered everything. Everything seemed to, be kind of clicking. 2021, not gonna lie, 2021 has been the absolute worst year of my life, my worst year of my existence. I don't, this was a negative 2 out of 10. Not only would I not recommend, I would tell you to banish it. This should be banished. This should be illegal, what I had to deal with. But, I guess we're here. I'm limping through it. I'm not even fine, Like, but I remember 2016 was also a really bad time. And my therapy was lights. I would work on the old lighting system for hours on end. I would just spend time in the building, in the church, doing this, just playing around with lights and making videos and updating paperwork for my lighting ministry and all these different things that I was doing. And it helped me get through that rough time. So I figure, once again, during a rough time, I should have something to help me get through it. And so we're here, and I feel somewhat comfortable with the equipment now to start making some tutorial videos to kind of give you guys an idea of not only what this stuff does, but lighting tutorials in general, 101s type of stuff. So we're going to do that. But, so that was 2021, and so here we're here. I, my small business is in like 3 areas. So what we're doing is we're doing retail like I wanted. We're going to do some retail. We're going to do consultation, which I've already kind of been doing with you guys. Some of you have been watching my videos, have been commenting, emailing, messaging me on different social media platforms. Some of you have already been asking me. I've had a few phone calls and different things, asking for like some advice, some tips, some consultation. So I figure maybe I should take it a little further out and see how that goes. So that's what's happening. And then the third thing is doing parties and events and you know, weddings and charity events and stuff like that. I used to do a lot of that professionally for a few years, and I did lighting and audio. So I have a little bit of audio, but don't ask me about audio. I never mastered it. But I did find that the way you deal with audio, in some ways, is similar to the way you deal with lighting, but in a lot of ways, completely different animal, completely different. So, but so I have retail experience, like years and years of retail experience, years and years of lighting consultation experience, and years of doing different events and parties and stuff on a professional level. So those are the three areas that I'm looking to kind of focus the business on. And what's another color, guys, that we can? Oh! Spring green. I've always liked spring green. Let's do this. So green, a little bit of that blue. There we go. Got some spring green here. Okay. So, I've always wanted to do that. So I have, at the time of this recording, I have a birthday party that I'm going to be working on. Hired my first employee. Gonna, pay her a nice, decent wage of work. And, like, we're really doing this. Like, this is really happening. So it's an exciting thing. It's a new little project that, if it blows up into, something, I mean, obviously that's what I would want. I would want it to blow up into something where you quit your day job to run your day job or something. Is that what the kids are saying today? I don't know. But what I do know is that this is pretty, that's pretty much my update. That's pretty much my story of what's been going on. I haven't gotten sick during these trying times. I've been able to stay healthy in terms of COVID. I've heard that apparently YouTube has an issue with us saying the word. We have to say, like, the virus or, the pandemic. But apparently some of the YouTubers that I follow seem to be like, they either will censor it because they're not sure if they're allowed to say it. And I know YouTube has had some censoring things in the past, so that's why I ended up almost saying it. But then hopefully that doesn't get this video flagged, even though I'm kind of a nobody. So I imagine this probably would be fine. They probably won't even care. Um, but let's get to, why am I doing that with my, okay. Let's get to the introductions of this lighting system, and then we're going to get out of here. It's not going to be a long video. I just want to introduce you guys to what you're going to be seeing, on a weekly basis, introduce you to the family. Right, so let's go to the method of control first. Now working on this party, I got introduced to this, and I'm not gonna lie. My first little thing for my company here is my sister's birthday party. She's having a birthday party. Well, she was gonna have it next month, but things have somewhat escalated, and she's postponing. Cases are on the rise, right? So she's kind of postponed to a later date. So might be a little later, but next year. Actually, when you watch this, it'll be January, but I'm recording this in December. But anyway, she was the one that started research and found this brand for me. During my time doing the ministry, I was training her on how to do lighting. She didn't do a whole lot of lighting, but she was trained by me, so she is knowledgeable. And so when she showed me this brand, Rockville, I was like, ooh, okay. So credit to her for getting me into this brand. I have some, it's you get what you pay for kind of vibe. I don't, so I don't want to really, but we're not talking about, this isn't a product review, it's just a product introduction. So this is the Rockville Rockforce W2 192 controller. Um, and again, if you don't know what any of this stuff means, I'm going to have a whole series of what different things mean, terminologies, intros, and stuff. But just to run through everything. So yeah, 12 scanner fixture buttons, like eight scenes. I think it's 23 banks. It's like 23 banks per, so 8 times 23, and then you can have 6 chases. I forget how many scenes you could put inside the chase. You got programs. The more you do lighting, the more you're looking around at different products, the more you realize the lighting boards look very, very, very similar to each other. There might be some differences in like the feel of the buttons or appearance of the buttons and faders. Sometimes the layout might be a little different, but for the most part, this is what it is. My employee, I had her write down the colors for the primary built-in single colors for the fixtures. She was struggling to remember, so I said, why don't you just write it down? You guys have seen older controllers from like the ministry days, stuff written down. She worked with me during my ministry days. She was my right-hand man. So, it made sense for me to snag her, offer her the opportunity to do this all over again. We both haven't done it in years. We both were rusty, but we both, we realized just how much we do love this whole gig. Let's go. You guys want to do yellow? You guys want to do yellow? Don't know if you can see the yellow. Emphasize. Yeah, this is pretty bad, actually. It's not the best looking yellow on the screen. Yes, I'm a Pokemon guy. Yo, that pandemic was crazy. People were fighting over Pokemon cards. Like stores had to actually ban, like they stopped selling Pokemon cards. That was crazy. That was crazy. But so that's the controller. It can do 16 channels of control. You just have the page button in order to switch through each bank of faders, each page of faders, and it just goes back and forth. So that's the controller. It's wireless DMX. I got the antenna, so that's how it'll talk to most of the fixtures in the team. This was very, 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 very cheap. This is probably very entry level equipment. Like one of the American DJs that I had was like, what, either $350 or almost $400 per unit, per fixture. These you could fit about maybe 4 or 5 of those in that same price range. Like all of this and this controller was about that same amount. Like, yeah, like maybe like 500 for this. Like this is like $500, guys. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Hex fixture, and speaking of the $500. So what are these? These are wedges. These are called wedges, and I mean, like, yes, they're called Rockville Rock Wedge LED, but like this is a wedge type fixture. Companies like American DJ, Chave, Blizzard, Martin, a lot of other places, they have wedge fixtures and just call it something, whatever. But these are wedges. You can kind of get the idea that they're a wedge because they kind of like have that sensation. You can kind of wedge it in a corner somewhere. That's why they're like a wedge type of deal. Yes, so these are fully battery powered wireless fixtures. Okay. And again, that's just the basics. I'm not going to get into the product review situation right now, but that's pretty much the basics of the story. It's wireless and battery powered hex fixtures. So they have the red. Let's go through them. They have red in there, green, blue. You guys saw white earlier when I started the video. There's amber and ultraviolet, making all of the white stuff pop. Random white things that I could point to in the apartment. But so that's pretty much your 6-piece hex thing. You know, your tri fixtures have red, green, and blue. Quad, which is 4, is red, green, blue, white, or amber. And then the hex is red, green, blue, white, and amber, as well as ultraviolet. Now, some of the more upper class fixtures, they have all kinds of colors built in. Besides like the traditional ultraviolet and stuff like that, they'll have like a special shade of white. I've seen one fixture that has like a mint green type of thing instead of like the regular green. It's like all kinds of stuff. So like once you get to a higher pay grade, like this is probably entry level. American DJ, Chave, those guys, they're probably like mid tier in terms of pricing. And then you have upper echelon items like Chave Professional or Elation. Those guys are a little more expensive, and so that's what's going on with these. We're gonna need a little more light in order for us to see. Go amber, right? Let's do amber. Last member of the family. This is a very new fixture. Like this just came out like a couple of months ago. So I'm not one of the first to use it, but there isn't anything on YouTube for it. So I'm gonna make a video for this on YouTube to try to help out with early adaptation. But this is called the Eliminator Mini Par Bar. Now the mini pars themselves, like you can buy this one little head by themselves. These have been these have been around for a while, so these are not new. But the system is new. It comes with a remote that's trash, and sorry, I keep it 100. When we talk about it in detail, this is not the best fixture in terms of like the setup, the DMX channels, and how you can control everything. It's actually like I've had a system like this before. When I was doing lighting professionally, we had a similar system from Chave that had lights and control and everything. It seemed like more of a logical way that they had it. Not, Eliminator lighting, the Chave, the American DJ brand of lights have always not been a favorite. But this was a cheap thing to get into to start off with. So this is what I ended up doing. And hopefully I can upgrade soon. But it's bright. I will say that. Got the ability to do the whole DMX thing. Power and stuff. That's the menu. One of the things about this guy is that, yes, you do have the ability to control with the remote. That's the sensor there, so you have to aim it there. Through my initial runs of it and, testing the range, you got to be pretty close. You can't be more than a few feet away. You can't be a few feet away. Like that's what you're dealing with. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes with it. I'll show you the remotes that came with the different items so you can get an idea. So each wedge comes with a remote and the safety clamp, which would screw. There's multiple. These are really unique in that there's like multiple ways, multiple spots where you can put in the safety clamp and it screws in. So not only on each edge of the wedge, oh, that rhymed, okay, but also on the bottom. So if you want to hang it and it'll point downward, you can do that. So that's cool. Very interesting. Nothing on the top. Nothing on the top. So each wedge came with a light, but obviously with a remote. But obviously, you can use the one remote to control all of them. So you don't necessarily need all 6 remotes. But I have 6 of these now. So right on. And then this remote came with the Eliminator fixture. I've never used this kind of remote before. You guys have seen videos in the past. I've had several, a few remotes, a couple of remotes. This is a new one for me. Um, but like again, later on I'll talk about the remote in detail, what it does, all the different things, the buttons and what they mean, stuff like that, in case you don't know. Because I haven't seen a video for this remote by itself, like reviewing how well it works. So I don't know, how well it works. So I want to be able to help you guys understand before you make an investment. But I don't think it's on sale by itself. That's the thing. I don't think you could buy it on its own. Maybe you can, and I'm just bugging. But I didn't see it. Like, this is listed on American DJ's site, and I didn't see this by itself on the site. But maybe if I go to Eliminator, I might find it. I don't know. There's no name for it. Like, usually American DJ remotes have a name for it, but there doesn't seem to be a name for it. It's just called lighting remote. Like, that's creative. So that's pretty much what we're looking at with these guys. Got a couple of remotes. So, this was like cheap. Everything was just, starting off type of stuff. Nothing was crazy. Nothing was crazy. But decent quality. The stuff seems decent quality. There are issues with each thing that I got, but it's all decent quality. It should get me, paid enough times to be able to invest later on for some higher qualities. But there will be an entire video talking about the brand itself, Rockville, and what I think of it, and just like tips on how to start in lighting. What do you do if you want to get into it? Where do you start? That kind of thing. I'll have a whole thing for that too. So no worries. Just wanted to let you guys know I am still alive, still kicking. I mean, this is walking, but just imagine like I'm kicking. That's a kick, right? Even though my other leg is like moving and twitching. If I just, now we're kicking. Right. So, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Most of the questions you'll probably have are about the equipment. Those answers are coming on a weekly basis. They are going to show up. You will see. Hang in there. But I can still answer questions. Like, if you comment and stuff, I will still be able to respond with, like, it's like this, or it's actually that, or, like, how bright is it, and, stuff like that. These are bright. These are bright. One little light here, my hand is not the biggest hand that you've ever seen. It's a medium size, maybe below average hand size, but I'm able to fit this in my hand comfortably. Like, it feels secure. Like, I can hold it, and I know I'm not going to drop it. It's not heavy. It's only a few pounds. It's like half the weight of the American DJ pars that I had, but obviously those pars were bigger. Battery life seems to be good on these, but again, we'll get into those details. So, all right, I think that's it, guys. So we're back. Me and my team of it's actually, I have a couple of team members in the studio. It's so you have me. I also have myself, and I have I. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you the best content possible. But I'm also working on other projects. I have a newsletter coming out, and I'm still recording episodes of my podcast. So if you're interested in those, links are in the description for the podcast. The newsletter hasn't really launched yet. By the time you're listening to this, watching this, it might have launched, but there's a high chance it didn't. So I'll only if it's up and running, you'll see a link in the description. If not, you won't see it. It's bad. But the podcast is definitely up and running. Definitely check it out. If you like podcasts, it's a Spider-Man podcast. So It's very different than what's going on here. Talk about taking a left turn, right? No, we're not laughing. All right. Well, let's play around here. A send off color. What do you guys want the send off color to be? How are we gonna end this episode here? I'm feeling blue. Not blue stereotypically emotionally. Even though blue isn't really associated when you look at like color psychology, it's not really associated with like sad things. It's actually black. Like this is black. Also, these blinkers are the signals to let you know that the DMX is connected to the board, which has a red blinker. This is annoying if you're trying to keep things quiet, right? Like if you want to have a calm, cool lighting effect. If the lights are off and you're in a dark place and you need to keep it dark, like this is no good for theater. I would have to, and I have some tape. I'm gonna end up taping this. This is bright, but I'm also gonna be taping that guy. Like stop. So that's another slight gripe that I have with these fixtures. So I mean, you're talking green, but I don't want to do a green light. Let's just blue and amber. Oh yeah, you like that, huh? I hope you do. It's nice. That's nice. Okay, all right, guys. So let's sign off again. Like I said, you can visit those areas to get a different kind of content from me. You can visit my website, Dalanel.com. I do have a lighting website that's under construction right now. It'll be called dlighting.dalanel.com. It's just a subdomain of Dalanel. So that'll be up and running soonish. And also, you can follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active at Dalanel Tweets. All of these things in the description, of course, but Dalanel Tweets. I would encourage you to subscribe, but more importantly, I encourage you to comment. Now that YouTube has gotten rid of the dislike button, it's almost an even bigger reliance on commenting to get the vibe of how the video is. Like, do we like it or not? So if you like the video or you don't like the video, literally say so, because the thumbs down is taken away from us. A quick way to tell us like how we're doing with it. I would still see how many dislikes I get on the back end, but what good is it really if it's not public knowledge for everyone? You know what I mean? Like my quick thoughts on that. That's all. But leave a comment for sure. If you do like it, give the thumbs up. But it is what it is. Shout out to me, myself, and I. We're working very hard. Especially myself. Myself seems like he's really been charged up lately. So definitely, will we ever have my little employee join? Probably not. I mean, she would be off camera if she did join me for like a video or two. So it'll probably be a solo project, or a solo host, I should say. Myself and I don't really get into this kind of stuff, so it'll just be me. But how long can I run this me, myself, and I gag? I'm not sure. How long should I run it? Probably never. I probably should have never started. But you're still watching, so I guess it's okay. I haven't said this in a while, but thanks for watching, and keep shining.